What's going on, YouTube? Earth Power here, bringing you a Kaijudo deck profile. Today we have Spencer Swan.
Hey guys.
What are we featuring?
We are featuring the new Firelight Water Aggro Control Mix version 25.
Something or another.
Let's
talk about the variations it's been through real quick before we get to
this
actual deck profile.
We started with a really aggro-y mix. There were the Tatsurions, the Bolt Tails, standard fire speed attacker things, and a bunch of Drakens, a little bit of rushiness, and the light was kind of an interesting blend of shock and awes and like 1 Keeper of Dawn, 3 Sunstalk Seed, 3 Blinder Beetle, that kind of deal. And watered was pretty much your standard draw with 2 Veil Vortex and 2 Ice Blades. And it's kind of morphed a little bit from there, and I did some fixes, and then...
You took it to darkness for a time.
Yeah, CVH was like, let's put darkness in it, and then I took water out and tried darkness. Borrowed some bat breaths, etc., but
just didn't
no draw, no hand advantage, slowed it down a lot, and that caused some real problems. So...
We're back to this.
We're back to water, and I've made a few more picks here and there of different cards. So I guess we'll get into the whole meat of the experience. And we're running 3 Shock and Awes, which are really good, as you saw in the card of the week, and kind of the focal point of the deck. They help out Tatsurion a bunch. Granger, as we're going to mention later, can swing over everything, and there's just a bunch of tap in this deck, which is the whole point. And basically tap your opponent's whole field and then rush in and beat him in 2 turns.
Keeps Tatsurion alive and
yeah,
field's clear.
He's a real threat. And I run 2 Sunshock. Another good tap card. Nice shield trigger. It can tap anything, so it can really save you from bigger stuff. And if you have 8 mana or 6 mana, you can tap a creature and come in with Gila Flame or Tatsurion, and it's kind of amazing. So it's won me many a game to have one of these and a Gila Flame in hand. So, moving on, we have 2 Granger, because it's my favorite card. And it's huge and delays all the finishers that give this deck so much trouble, because there's only really bounce, there isn't any kill, except for Tornado Flame. So Granger can hold people off for a little while and pretty much make sure that Gila Flame and the rest of his little posse of speed attacker big things don't get through, which is really nice and gives me some breathing room every now and then. And we have 3 Blinder Beetle.
In so far. God.
3 Blinder Beetle. They come in and tap something, just like Shock and Awe, except for they don't need the turn startup, which is really nice in certain situations. They win games too. 7 mana plus a Gila Flame. If I get the opponent down to no shields, it's really dangerous for them. Even if they have 2 or 3 blockers out, I can tend to tap a lot of things. And then we have 3 Sunstalk Seed, which is just the best blocker that we have right now, essentially.
It's a Saris of Dual Masters.
Yeah, so it's 2 for 3,000. It can attack creatures. I can tap things and then swing over them with this.
It's like what Saris was for us.
Emerald Grass Carl.
I know, but we use Saris competitively.
So it's a Sarius / Emerald Grass because they were the same card.
Yeah.
But it's really good, and if I could run 4, I would. But I can only run 3. And they're tremendous and kind of hold off big things and just chump block them. And they kill Rush if Rush can't get rid of them with Comet Missile. And rounding off light, I have 2 Keeper of Dawn. They recycle spells. They're real big. They're like Hydrobot Crab big. And, you know, they run over stuff. Shock and Awe helps. Blinder Beetle. They're just big.
Crab, so.
They crash with Hydrobot Crab. They crash with Razor Kinder. You know.
Another thing I noticed too is when you play against Darkness, you discard your hand, you can throw down spells early and know that you can get them back with Keeper of Dawn later.
And you just grab the logo scans over again and keep the draw flowing, which is really nice. Or the Sunshock's back. And if you have 7 mana, it wins you the game a lot of the time.
Keeps the Jeep rolling.
Yep.
Keeps the spice flowing.
Alright, and water is kind of the least interesting section, but we're going to put it in the middle here. We have 2 Veil Vortex. They bounce large things. They're a shield trigger. They really help in some situations when you have finishers on board. and your opponent like bounce those Zagons, make them start up for another turn, and give you breathing room to get one more creature out. Usually win through the game. We got 2 Ice Blades. Great shield trigger, great removal, etc. You know, pretty standard. Don't want to draw them late, so 2 of them. 3 logo scans. They draw 2 cards. They're great. You should play them in every deck that runs water. And basically enough said. Keeper of Dawn gets them back. Tremendous. I have 1 Glurgle because I had a spot and I was like, I'm just going to put this in. And I think 2 is too many in aggro. I just draw them too much. But like when I have it really late game and I have 8 mana to play with, mill a bunch of cards and find that Bolt Tail, win the game, can be very valuable. We have 3 Hydra Spy because they draw cards and they're really good. I throw them in mana a lot, but you know, they work when they come out. I also run 3 Seneschal, so it's a lot of draw. But Seneschal doesn't go off every time. He's a major threat though, and with all the tap, he can kill things and draw cards. And come in for game a lot of times. I was playing Christian's Control earlier and like rush with Seneschal on Draglide, and it was just keeping everything going, keeping the removal flowing into my hand. So it can be really good for an aggro deck. And now we have Fire, which is really interesting. So we have 2 Gila Flame, which get stuck to my hand a lot, but they're really good. And if I can keep a hand with Gila Flame in it, it can circumvent the control discard. And just keep coming in for shields over and over again, and if your opponent has nothing to deal with it and they don't get a trigger, they're done. It's just what happens. And if I have 2 in hand or one of these in a Draglide, bad things happen to people. I'm running 2 Tatsurian from the battle decks, and mostly because of all the tap, and they just come in and they're active almost as soon as they hit board in any game I play with this deck, and come in, kill creatures, and then double break next turn. Pretty good. I'm running 3 Tornado Flame, which is a lot, but it's my only real kill spell. So I decided to run 3. It also deals with all the bigger threats that I come across, Gila Flame being my biggest weakness, because I have no discard. So if I can get one of these in shields, then it just ends the whole routing of Gila Flame. And that's the reason for 3.
Or 2 in shields.
Yeah, or 2 in shields, as it were.
Christian says extremely.
And they kill Bat Breaths too, which I have trouble with.
Saltily.
Yes.
I mean, it's the adverb form.
Yeah.
The salty.
I'm running 2 Comet Missile. I don't like drawing into them that much, but when I do, I like them. And helps hands be rushy if they want to be. If I got a Comet Missile and a Draken. Kills giant blockers, etc. We have 2 Draken. I thought 3 was overkill. And just like the Comet Missiles, I like to see them sometimes, and they're nice little creatures that power up to be real big and get me over rush a lot. And, you know, they're just a good answer to a lot of things, especially with all the tap that I have. They bump up to 3,000 and come in. 2 Draglides, because they're a great speed attacker, but I don't want to see them that much. And, again, just for the rushy element of it, and come in and finish the game once I have that initial push of first hand. And 2 Bolt Tail. They're kind of amazing. Come out 8th turn, if I get to 8th turn. And speed attack, double break, hopefully win the game. So that's about it, guys. And you know, it's rushy, it's aggro-y, it can be whatever you want, really, depending on what you draw into and what you're facing. So, hope you enjoyed it. Tell me if you have any fixes, post them in the comments. I'm sure CVH will let me know what they are, or you could bother me on Facebook, because that's where I'll be.
Yes.
So, check the social links down there.
His wrist just broke. Sorry, we're gonna...
Holy shit.
We need to call an ambulance.
My arms just broke.
Social link.
Check the social links below.
Yes, guys. Leave a
Thanks
like.
for
if you
watching.
enjoyed.
Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Tell me your thoughts on the deck, and look forward to seeing it in more matches because it's my new favorite. Thanks, guys, and Peach.
Peach.
Peach.